Here we have the inside of the Elddis Supreme 574. If we firstly come to the main control panel just here, we can turn the 12 volt on just by flicking this switch. Beside this we then have the top lighting on. All of the other lights can then be turned on and off on their own switches. And then the last switch up the top here just turns the awning light on and off. The control panel just here is for the heating and the hot water system. You will see here that we have the water pump. So water pump on. We need the water pump on so we can get water out of the taps and fill the boiler up if it's been drained down. We then have heating just here. So we can run the heating on these three different levels just here, which are all mains electricity. So we can have mains electricity using 2.9 amps, mains electricity using 5.7 amps, or mains electricity using 11.3 amps. This is all just dependent on how many amps the site is to try and avoid yourself from tripping. If you don't have any mains at all, you can solely run on gas just here. And you can also run on dual fuel just here. Dual fuel is especially handy, especially in the winter months if you want to get up to temperature really quickly. A combination of electricity and gas allows the system to heat up very rapidly. Whenever you are consuming gas, the red light will illuminate just here to let you know. If there's a problem in any shape or form with the heating, this red light will begin to flash and you will get an error message appear on the screen. If I now press the off button, we will turn the system off again. This one here is the circulation fan on its own without any heat. So on a warm day you can just circulate the air. And then we have the thermostat to control the heating up and down just here. If we now press the button again, we can come back out and now go to the picture of the tap, which is your water temperature. We can run in eco mode to conserve power if we're on a low amp site, which is really handy. We can run on main supply using 3.3 amps. If we have water in the boiler but we don't necessarily want to be heating it up, we can put it in frost protection mode, and that way if the temperature outside drops below about 3-4 degrees, it will come on to prevent any frost damage. And then we can also do a timed boost. This is extremely handy for showering. As you can see, it has a countdown timer and will boost the hot water for that length of time. We can alter the time and I will show you in a moment. So we're currently now boosting on main supply using 6.5 amps. We're now doing the boost on gas, and we can also use a combination again of gas and electricity if we want to get hot water very, very quickly. We can also hold this button in and then get into the setup menu. We cannot use any of these are all for technicians, but we can set timers for the heating and hot water. As you can see, we can set what we would like the heating to come on using. So let's say we want to use a combination. We can then arrow across and then alter when we want it to come on, and then when we want it to turn back off again, and what temperature we would like it to be. We can set up to 3 timers. Now we've set a timer, I can now highlight this bit here, which has turned the timer on, and now within that time period the heating would come on. If I now hold again, we can go back into the menu and we can then do exactly the same again, but for the water. We can set the clock just here, and in the options menu we can alter the brightness of the screen. We can change how long we want to use that boost facility for, so we can do it for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, 60, or we could just have it so it boosts forever. We can set how long before the screen goes into standby when we're not using it. Whether or not we want key beeps on or off. Whether or not we want this flashing light on or off. Proportional control. We can turn that on and off. It just limits the amount of stuff you can actually do to it. Main supply. So if you know how many amps the site is that you're on, you can select on here, and then the system will control itself to avoid tripping. And then we go back to the beginning again. This here is letting us know that we have main supply connected, condition of the leisure battery, and at the moment we don't have heating or hot water on, so we're not using any amps. If we now come to the bench seat just here and remove the cushions, we can then lift up this section just here. You can see in here the control board for the Power Touch motor mover, the box for the alarm, the back of the battery box, and then we can see the consumer unit just here. If we now pop this down, we will find the main strip switches just here. So we have the individual MCBs, the main RCD and the test button just here. So if something's not working on main supply, just come in here to check to see whether or not you've tripped. And then we have the 12 volt fuses just here. Again, they're all labelled up. So if something's not working on 12 volt, just come to check to see whether or not you've blown a fuse. The battery charger that charges the leisure battery is located at the back of this unit just here, so do make sure that you do not cover it. The television aerial and stereo are located in this overhead compartment. So we have the digital amplifier for the TV aerial just here, on and off just here. Control the boost just here. To raise the TV aerial, undo the collar just here and then push up and get into the position that you require, and then lock it back into place. Never over tighten these collars because you can split them. Currently the aerial is in the horizontal position. We can flip it into the vertical position just by turning the tail just here if you need to do additional tuning. Once you've done this, it's then just a matter of installing a television and then plugging it into the aerial fly lead point just here. Do make sure that the aerial is down for travel. The stereo turns on and off on the SRC button just here. This does have USB and auxiliary connectivity. CD just here and eject here. Volume control. Easy graphic equalizer just here. If we want to get into the menu to alter stuff, we just press the volume button in and then navigate using the volume button, and anything we want to change we just press. Back button just here, and then to turn it off just hold the SRC button in again. We have the hob with the electric hot plate just here. Electric hot plate operates on this one just here, and the red light will come on to let you know it's in operation. Everything else is gas, and it's just a matter of pushing in, twisting round and pressing the igniter. Beneath we have the grill. And then the oven. Beneath the oven we have storage, but you will also find a couple of gas isolation taps for the cooker at the top and the hot water underneath. They are in the on position and they can stay like that. They are more for maintenance. If you do smell gas in the caravan, it's best to just go to the gas bottle and turn it off. Also in here you will find a plug plugged in, and this is just for the hot plate. The freestanding table is just found here. The microwave is here, and as it says on the sticker, do make sure that you remove the contents for travel. Again, this works on main supply, exactly the same as the hot plate. You will need to press the eco button to turn it on, and then it behaves like any other microwave. You have quick start here, stop, timer settings, auto cook, etc. all up here. If we now go underneath one of the single beds, we will find the location for the boiler just here. The boiler drain valve is just here. So to drain the boiler for travel and winterization, we just need to make sure the water pump is turned off and then twist this round like so, and it will begin to drop the water out of the boiler. It's also a good idea to also go round the caravan and open up all the taps as well. This will release any airlocks in the system and help it to drain down. When it comes to filling it back up again, flat back into the position that it is at the moment, drop the submersible into the aqua roll, turn the water pump on, and then the water pump will begin to prime the system back up again. The taps will cough and splutter as they force the air out of the system. Once they're running freely, close, and then the system will fully prime itself back up again. Above my head just here we have the Omnivent fan. To operate this, wind to pop the roof vent up. We then have middle button to turn the unit on, and then we have arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling. Variable fan speed just by pressing. Do make sure all roof vents are closed for travel. We also have on the ceiling the carbon monoxide alarm and the smoke alarm. Just press the buttons every now and then to make sure that they are working, as they're battery operated. We also have the PIR sensor for the alarm just here. Press the button every now and then, exactly the same as you would with the smoke alarm and carbon monoxide, because this is also wireless and requires a couple of batteries as well. Next we have the Dometic fridge, on and off just here. We then have main supply with a little picture of the 2-pin plug. If we want to run on gas, we just press the picture of the flame. These fridges automatically ignite themselves. And then lastly we have 12-volt maintain for when we are towing, to keep the fridge cold on the move. If I press this at the moment, it will beep at us and give us a red fail indicator because we are not hitched up to a tow vehicle. If you have tried to light it on gas and it's failed, you can press this button just here to make it reset and it will then try again. Temperature control just here. And then we have the freezer box, which can be removed. There are just 2 clips just underneath. If we now come into the washroom, we have the basin just here. Light switch just here. Shower cubicle. Do make sure that the shower screen is clipped back for travel. We then have the Thetford toilet. To open to the cassette, just slide the lever across like so. Push button to flush. This will illuminate when the cassette needs emptying. To close to the cassette again, just slide back across. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you feel resistance, just come and check to make sure nobody's left this open. With the caravan alarm, you have these fobs. It is just press the button and you will get 1 chirp for armed and 2 chirps for disarmed. If for any reason the alarm cannot be turned off on the fobs, you do have these little things here, and you'll see up here we have this, and we can just plug this into here and this will turn the alarm off also.